welcome everybody to 24K Lurkana. I got some spice for you guys here today. What, 16th in Swiss at the end of day one?
At the end of day one, I was in 13th place.
13th place with Quest Kids.
Shout out the Quest Kids, shout out the team, John the Ranger, that's me.
That's right, baby. Alrighty, so we were here, and then first of all, introduce your name, introduce yourself.
My name's John Rosario, also known as John the Ranger, representing the Quest Kids.
That's right, that's right. And what deck did you play that you got 13 with, man?
I brought BLURPLE. I like to call it pretty and blue, but I brought BLURPLE. So
that's right, man. Look at the spice right there. Show us what's happening. Show us what's happening.
First things first, for Chernabog's followers. Obviously, it's good to draw. If you don't see ramp in your opening hand, you're definitely going to want to use this to get to that ramp or get to that card draw, to find that rapid, find that friends. If you're playing against a control list, keep this out to ping damage, but a really great one drop. Already some spice. We got 3 Cogsworth. This is probably 3rd place for MVP of the list. Most lists were playing Magic Broom because they wanted that extra card draw. I found that it was too much card draw. And if you don't ink this in the opening hand and you find this later in the game, people aren't expecting the cog to come out, especially if they don't see it. And just to be able to play like some combat tactics, you can give it self-rush. This list, you'll see later, this list should not lose to aggro, especially being able to play this, give something else rush, or give it self-rush, take out a Lilo or a Baby Maleficent. This card put in a lot of work. And it's another cheap tool to bounce stuff with.
Right, nice.
The best ramp in the list for Tipo, being able to ramp from your hand. It's basically a one jump with a body to get to that 4 drop on turn 3. Put in so much work.
The cool synergy too is like you ramp there and then you're playing purple, so you're losing the hand card advantage because you're ramping and drawing. Ramp draw is crazy.
Yep. Tipo put in so much work. Standard bounce for Snake. You know what it does. You know how good it is. Gotta have for Snake. For Friends. You know what it does. You know how good it is. I saw a list with only 3. I thought that was crazy, but for Friends is mandatory. More standard. For Fox. Ramp. Trades well. Gotta have the Fox.
Yeah.
And then only 3 Detective Mickey. I do have more ramp in the list. Some lists are playing 4. I thought 3 was perfect enough. If you don't have the Fox to play on 3 with a bounce, you play this so you're able to sing Friends next turn. But 3 Mickey I think is perfect. Little bit of spice, not really. 4 Crab.
4 Crab, man. No, that's pretty interesting ratio. Take us on it.
People aren't expecting 4 Crab. It puts in so much work against Emerald with this tempo. It helps you get deep into the big bodies of red-blue with the Tamatoas, or maybe you just need that extra bit of damage to take care of a big Cindy. Being able to give a Cog +3 or make this Detective Mickey a 4/3, like Crab puts in so much work. You need 4. Honestly, I could see me cutting 1 Crab for something later, but
it worked out today, right? Alrighty.
4 Crab put in a lot of work. 3 the library. There were some lists that were running 2 library, 4 Queen's Castle, or 2 library, 2 McDuck Manors. I am only running 3 library. These are the only locations I am playing. Just to be able to get that Chernabog's followers, if he stays alive, put him into the library, quest, pop, draw for 2. If you get this out early enough against red-blue, they have a hard time dealing with it. If you're chipping away with your characters and they want to prioritize the library, you'll definitely get at least 3 to 5 lore with the library before they're able to get rid of it.
And then I'm sure you have done like the Chernabog 1, Tipo 2. Then you can go library on turn the next turn and move the Chernabog and then draw 2 right there because you jumped that extra ink.
It's such a good card. I think 3 is a good amount though. And
it's cool. You wouldn't change the ratios location. You wouldn't add in the castle. You wouldn't bump this to 4.
There's a card later that I could probably take out to add in a different location, but for this event,
it's good.
The 3 library, the library put in work. Only 3 goat.
Ooh, okay. Take us on that take.
Most lists were running 4, and they were running only 3 rabbit. Because I took out the brooms, I felt like I needed to make it 4 rabbit and 3 goat. This isn't a list that you're gonna get to the end and you need to do like goat bounce shenanigans, three was good enough. I most of the times I was so happy to see a rabbit instead of a goat, so I'm happy with the 3-4 split. Now we get into the toolkit portion of the list. There's a lot of toolboxy stuff in this list, and this is where it starts.
Alrighty.
2 elephant. If you get this card against aggro, you're not losing. Such a high body. It's not dying to Zeus. It's not dying to Maui. It's not dying to 80% of the field. And to be able to move that 2 damage onto something else, this thing's staying alive for a long time. They gotta at least use 2, sometimes 3 resources to get rid of this thing.
Very underrated, right?
It put in a lot of work. 2 Donald Duck, Flatfoot, Mickey's partner in crime. They're both searching for something. They both do the same thing, but it's inkable, has 2 lore for more chip damage, and it has a 3-4 body. Again, it's just like Mickey, so
you go from 3 to 5, right? Like if you ever have both, you go 3 to 5, and then I don't know where you're at 7.
You go 3 to 5 and 7.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, and again, you don't need to ink if you find this late game, but it's a good statted body for 2 lore just to help you chip. Cog was 3rd place for MVP. This was number 1 MVP. Surprised how well this card did. 2 Belle, accomplished mystic. Everybody forgets about this card. Even if they know that they're playing against BLURPLE, and I don't think I've seen a BLURPLE list not running this, people are not expecting this.
They're not respecting it, right?
To be able to have this elephant out, it has 5 damage on it, play the Belle, move 3, now you have the 2 to transfer and it re-heals itself.
That's crazy.
And even though reading the card explains the card, people don't know that it doesn't have to be damage from your character to an opposing character. You could move damage from an opposing character to a different opposing character. I don't know why you would, but you could. I mean, I can see why you would.
No, this would be just an arrow, right?
Moving damage from your own character to another character if you wanted to get a more sufficient trade.
No, definitely.
Nice statted body, 2 lore,
nice.
inkable. It ticks all the boxes. She performed the best in my whole list. And then 2nd place MVP, could argue for 1st for the Elsa Fist Spirit.
This card is absolutely broken, man. I would have issues with this card all day.
She is insane. Another reason why you should not lose to aggro. But when you needed her to tap or to exert a Tamatoa or something big to be able to play the crab to get rid of it, this card put in so much work. It's evasive. It dodges a lot of removal. People got a hard time dealing with this. You got to play 4. It's mandatory. Really good card. Some more toolbox. 2 Kuzco. Some lists are running Judy Hops for that item removal. Some people are running Hideaway because it's 2 lore and it does the same thing, but I like this body to be able to take out a location or an item. 2 lore, 3-5, and if you drop it and you don't have anything and you're against Emerald Amethyst Tempo especially, or Steel Song to proc that to give everything resist 1, it's a good card, and I don't think I would change. 2 is just enough. Especially with me running so much bounce, everything feels like just enough. You can always get stuff back, and it doesn't feel like you're not missing out on stuff. Now, I want to go down to 1, but 2 sometimes feels like 3. Sometimes it feels like 4. 2 Yzma. If you needed that extra bit of insurance to take care of a Tamatoa, to take care of a big Cinderella, she's there. If you needed that extra bit of insurance to throw out a cog and to shuffle him back to get 2 cards. There was probably only 2 games where she was helpful. This was the card I was talking about that I could see myself cutting for maybe a McDuck Manor to add that extra bit of length to get over on the red-blue matchups. I played 3 red-blue matchups. I 2-0-2 and I tied with 1. So maybe I don't need the McDuck Manors, but this was a card that like 8 times out of 10 I was like, I could use another card probably, or it doesn't need to be the Yzma, but it's still same as Belle, 4-4, 2 lore, inkable. It's a good stat. Now here comes the biggest mystery of the deck.
Oh yes, there you go. Look at these.
So I'm running 3 Hades.
Take us back to chapter 1, man.
And
take us
Elsa.
back to chapter 1 right here. 13th place with these bad boys. All right.
I need people to put respect back on Elsa's name.
Yeah, that's right. Let them know.
Most lists, if not all lists, have at least 2, if not 1 Mufasa. Through my testing, every single time I played the Mufasa, if I was playing him, I was already ahead and I didn't need him, or I just wished he was something else. So I cut down to one Mufasa, and then I put in a third Hades, and then I ended up just getting rid of the last Mufasa. I think to put in the second Kuzco. I drew inspiration from the Leon Cup. I don't know if he won or got top 4. I know he for sure got top 4. But yeah, 3 Elsa, 3 Hades. With all the bounce, it feels like you have more. You could shift the Elsa. Hades put in so much work.
Powerful bodies, powerful questers. They control the board, and oh my gosh.
Combos well with Belle. Always targeting Flavor Shem with Hades. That was like the biggest thing I could do to get over red blue. But these were the late drops.
Was it a 60 card list we're talking here?
60 exactly.
60 card list. None of that 72 red blue card. That's great, right? You're like, that's wild, right? No, but man, this deck looks very clean, guys. Look at this. BLURPLE. You were the only one, right?
Yeah.
You saw the pie chart. He was the only one out of top 64. But not just that, he was 13th place.
And the crazy thing too, my self-proclaimed captain, Mike, shout out Mike, he's a really good player, one of the best players I know. A week before the event, so actually a week ago today on Sunday, we go over to a buddy's house to test, just to piss off Mike because I like getting under his skin. I bring a Steel Song aggro list, and I bring a Steel Amethyst aggro list, and he's playing red blue, so I'm just messing with him, and he lights a fire under my butt, telling me to play a meta list. I'm not always playing the meta list. Somebody who's more comfortable with the anti-meta list is going to beat somebody playing a meta list that they just picked up 2 weeks ago. Yep. Play what you're comfortable with. Play what you feel like you can do best at, and you will perform well, because this list fits my playstyle. A mid-range aggressor toolbox list is what I do best at. I can't play red-blue and play solitaire. It's not. I'm not going to do well. So play what you're comfortable with, and you'll find success.
You got to follow your gut instinct too, because you're literally reminding me right now. Like all of my teammates were saying, they were telling me not to play the blue steel. You're like, you're in a well of blue-red, you're insane, this and that. You're going to have a bad time tomorrow. And I tested like at midnight the day on Friday night, purple-red. Maybe I'll try that again. I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to go with gut feeling. Look at that. So, man, you just got to go with what you're comfortable with.
That was the other thing. On Sunday, he gave me that pep talk. Monday, I go to see my girl, so I couldn't play. Tuesday, I put the list together. I don't even touch it. Wednesday, I had some other stuff to do. Thursday, I see my girl again. She plays 2. I play against her playing Steel Song. Probably play like 3 games. Those were the only games I played with this list. Coming into the weekend, and I performed the way I performed. Play which.
It's because your style, right? This is the way the style of play. So you're just comfortable with those interactions and be able to, very smooth, man. Very smooth. Bill Ranger. There you go.
Shout out Quest Kids.
Quest Kids, man.
Shout out the Goons. Shout out Hector 24K. Shout out my girlfriend.
There you go, man. There you shout outs, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, keep it up. We're gonna see you in Seattle.
Okay.
And then possibly in Disneyland, right?
That's the goal.
There you go, man. Alrighty, thank you so much.